Hey guys, in this tutorial we're going to be covering how to set up a new list inside your Listflex account. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is pick the vendor that you're going to want to set up the new list under. In this case I've chosen Martin. And because we haven't set up any new lists yet, I could click here to do that, or I could come over here to more options and click add new list. Now when you're setting up a new list, one of the things that you're going to notice on the right hand side are all of the question marks. Those are going to give you insight into all the rules and all the filters and all of the things that you need to consider when you're setting up a new list. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is name your list, and we'll name it Work From Home Buyers. What's important about naming the list is that A, you're specific, and B, you remember that if you provide vendor access to where your vendors can log into their back office and see any commissions that are due to them or monies owed to them for you buying the leads flat rate or you rev sharing, they will see that list name. So it's important to be specific and name it appropriately. So in this case, are we buying the leads or are we rev sharing the leads? Let's say we're buying the leads for 50 cents a record. Next, list vertical, and this is work from home, so we'll call it BizOp. What's important about list vertical is that if you have any custom fields, any specific criteria, the list vertical and choosing it right here will allow you to have those custom fields be available when you're importing the leads. So it's important that when you create a list, you choose the appropriate vertical. Now, if the vertical is not in there, when you're setting up a list, you can easily create one as well. Next, how do you want to sell the leads, or how do you want the leads to leave the system? So basic rules say, hey, if the leads come in, they pass all the filters, I want to sell it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, whatever, unlimited. Or if you're dealing with a higher end lead, maybe a more expensive lead, something that's more sensitive, you have the ability to create rules where the lead is sold once, or it leaves the system once, and then you can lock it. And then you can add a position where the lead is then available for sale again, or to leave the system, lock it again. And then you can add another position to where you choose unlimited, meaning the lead will be available for you forever. You could sell it, email it, send it to a call center 2 years from now or 5 years, it doesn't matter. It'll always be available for you. If you have a sales rep in your organization that you want to track commissions for, you can do that here. Same with refer. If someone referred you this specific vendor and they want a percentage of the sales, you can track that by adding them in here. List status, self-explanatory. Simple scrub. Simple scrub is your master suppression file. So if you've accumulated bad phone numbers or bad emails, it's easy to build that list inside of Listflex. We give you a simple plugin for you to add those in, and you can use this feature on every list that you set up. But this is your master suppression. Elite is the master suppression of Listflex, where 10 million records, hard bounces, litigators, spam traps, everything that we've accumulated in the last 7 years, if you choose to filter your leads upon import against that list, you can. Now, level 1, email scrub, level 2, email scrub, level 2, phone scrub, and level 3, email scrub are physical validations where your email or your phone will leave to a third-party API and physically validate whether it's real or not. Again, phone or email. We have relationships in place that facilitate this for us, so you'll want to talk to your sales rep to get more specifics on those. US physical mailing address validation. If you decide that you're going to be selling these to a direct mail company or providing them, or you just want to validate them for your own use, you can choose that. DNC. This feature is for companies that hold a DNC license. So if you are registered and you're getting updates monthly from the government and you would like that feature enabled so that you can filter leads that are before they come into your system, filter them Because they're on the DNC, you have that option. Geocomplete, this feature is where if you're not collecting a full record, and let's say you're getting a name, email, and a phone, for example, but you're obviously collecting IP for compliance, Geocomplete would take IP or, in another example, zip code, and it would actually add city, state, and country for you upon import. So it would give you a fuller record. And again, optional, but it helps fill the record, make it a little bit beefier. Block bad words. If there are specific words that you just never want to see come in as the first name or the last name, you can build that list right here. Gender complete. The system bases the gender on a database that matches about 65% male and female. It's an internal database. You can use it at your leisure. Append missing fields. This is an internal append. So if you have a record that is coming in right now in real time, and you've already received that record at any point ever from any list, if you're missing any fields that you've already collected previously, it will append those if you choose. The easiest example is, let's say you're collecting an email submit, first name and email address, but you, at some point in the last year or two, actually purchased that lead and it was a full record and it had a phone number. If you decide that you want to append leads coming in, you'll turn that email record into a full record with phone number. And you can obviously move that. It's quite a bit more valuable than it being just an email address itself. The next feature is extremely important and by far the most popular, and it's the dedupe feature. Deduping leads upon import, whether you're buying leads or you're working with third parties or you're running your own ads and you don't want the same person filling out the form over and over and over again, whatever the case may be, we make it really easy for you to customize how leads are deduped. So if you want to dedupe the list against itself, you can, but you also get to decide how far back you want to go. Or you could say, hey, listen, if I've ever gotten the lead anywhere in my database, you can also choose how far back you go there. We also give you the ability for really sensitive situations where you can do it per list. So if you said, you know what, I want to dedupe, but I only want to dedupe it against this or that list, you have that option. Next, required fields. Required fields is basically a scenario where you will select fields that at a bare minimum have to be present or the lead will be rejected. If, for example, you choose these 4 fields and someone tries to post you an email lead that doesn't have an IP address, they'll get a fail message that says IP missing. Next, countries allowed. Countries allowed gives you the ability to choose only countries that the lead is allowed to come in from. And then the last option on here that you have to choose is, how do you want to return a success? Now in Listflex, leads can leave the system in 3 ways or be sold in 3 ways. You can collect leads because they've passed all the filters that we just went through and they automatically get put into your database and you can sell them, right away or as often as you want or 6 or unlimited times or whatever. Or you can sell leads in a priority setting, which we cover in another tutorial, or you can sell or have leads leave based on bidding, where your orders or your clients or the circumstances are based on bidding. So check out the other tutorials on those to understand if those options are a good fit for you. But that is how you set up a list. If you have any questions, just let us know. We're happy to help you. Thanks.